Justin B 2412 left a comment on one of my videos, 5 things to expect on your first day as a correctional officer. And he says this: how do socially awkward people handle this job? He says, I'm built physically, I'm jacked. No, he doesn't say that. I put that in there, but he's physically built for it, but he has always struggled making a good impression on people. Oh, I love this question. Great question. Let's do it. Greetings, my fearless frontliners, my fellow guardians of the galleries. I'm William Young, and this is my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a current, aspiring, retired, or soon to be retiring correctional professional who is craving content that's informative, engaging, that is intended to educate, to elevate the profession, then you're going to be in the right place. Before I go any further, I want to thank the members of the Just Corrections Patreon community for sponsoring the video, for supporting the channel. Without you, I could not create the content that I create. I love you. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching and you'd like to contribute to support the channel, I'll throw a link in the description below. This is a beautiful question, a big, beautiful question, because even if a person doesn't think that this is a thing for them now outside, it may be a thing after a giant metal door slams behind them and they're locked inside with 100 guys, right? That's the definition of awkward. But let me start with this. And I've talked about this in other videos. I want to talk about your size, right? A person's size inside is less important than you may think. I mean, it doesn't hurt to be a giant. It doesn't hurt to be jacked, but size is not an indicator of success, right? It's more about presence. It's more about how you carry yourself, if that makes sense. Look, I've seen giants struggle to run a unit to gain rapport, compliance, and I've seen day rooms cleared by folks that are the opposite of giants, if you know what I'm talking about. So it all boils down to you, to who you are and how you present yourself. See, I believe, and good luck convincing me otherwise, that communication is the key to success in corrections, right? The ability to talk, to listen, to build rapport is everything. If you can build rapport, you can establish yourself among the people. And once you establish yourself, once people know what you're about, things get a little easier. And maybe easier isn't the right word. Maybe it's that interactions are less awkward for all parties involved, if that makes sense. So how does one become less socially awkward? Well, I guess it depends on why we feel that way, right? If we have a low self-esteem, we need to challenge that perception by replacing thoughts like, I'm going to mess this up, or I can't do this, with things like, I got this, or I've done this before. And in the academy, your instructors are going to talk to you about this. They should talk to you about officer presence, about how to carry yourself in a unit around inmates, because that's awkward, right? Being in a unit, working in a prison or jail is awkward. It's weird, and at times it's absolutely terrifying, right? Walking into a unit or an area where people don't know you, don't like you, or what you represent, who would rather not listen to you, is awkward, whether you are or not. And I don't really think that it ever isn't awkward. I mean, it gets more familiar, but I don't know that walking into an area and having all eyes on you all the time ever feels comfortable. But you got this. Training will teach you how to carry yourself. Well, they should teach you how to carry yourself. But the key to it all, I'm telling you this right now, the key to it all is communication. And the way that you get better at communicating is by communicating. I know, weird, right? So you got to practice. If you struggle talking to people, then you got to practice, because the more you do something, the less alien it becomes. When I went through training like 20 years ago, they told us that when we showed up for our post, when we assumed a post, that we needed to address the unit, right? The entire unit. Call them all out into the day room, introduce ourselves, and lay out our expectations, right? Which is super awkward, but effective, right? So after the 4th or 5th or 6th time, it started getting less awkward, because I had experience and because I had practice. So let me ask you this: what's going to be more awkward, right? Walking around, striking up a conversation with people, or sitting in silence at the desk and just staring at somebody? Super awkward, right? So we're going to have to figure out what it is about interacting that makes us feel awkward. Is it a confidence thing? Is it that we feel inadequate? I mean, that's a possibility, but I feel like with training and with experience that we can overcome all of that. So here's what I did and what I still do to reduce my anxiety and my feeling of awkwardness. Is that even a word? I talk. I walk around and I talk. You should be up walking around and talking. You can't do the job the way you need to do it if you're pinned to the podium or behind the desk or hid away in an office, right? Anyways, I would just talk. I'd ask them about their day. I'd ask them about the book they're reading. I'd ask them what's for dinner. I'd ask them who was in the picture that was hanging on their wall. I just find things to talk about, right? The Bible, the Illuminati, hip hop, heroin, whatever they discussed, I would discuss. Now, you do have to be careful about what you say and remember where you are and who you're talking to. And they're going to cover all of that in training when they talk about manipulation. But talking and interacting with people gets easier the more that you do it. So maybe we start practicing now, right? So I want you to go somewhere, go to the store or the zoo or wherever, and I want you to find someone and I want you to talk to them. Find something to talk to them about. I don't expect you to have an in-depth conversation, but maybe just throw something out like, bro, I love those shoes. Where did you get them? Or, hey, what's that book about? Little tiny icebreakers. I call them micro interactions that help me build rapport. Learn everything that you can about people and how to communicate with them, and then get out there and do it. The more reps that you put in, the easier it gets. Dude, I love that you're asking this question. That's super huge, and that'll help you throughout your correctional career. I also love the self-awareness piece, the fact that you know that you have to ask these questions, man, that's super important as well. Look, I think that you should give it a go. I think you got this. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Make sure you subscribe to the show, follow the channel. Also, go to Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Just Corrections. Get involved, engage. I want you to leave a comment. If you have some input, if you have something of value to contribute to this conversation, then throw it in the comments. I want to know. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know where your head is at. I want to know what you've seen. I want to know where you've been. Just Corrections. And if you're interested in supporting the show, please consider becoming a member of the JCP, the Just Corrections community. There is a couple of different tiers, different options. So check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. Don't forget to check out the books, The Nothing That Never Happened, Train to Change, The Unfortunate and Unintentional Consequences of the Correctional Curriculum. Links to everything are in the description of this video. And if you'd like to bring me out to speak or present at your facility or your event, send me an email at justcorrections.booking@gmail.com. All right, guys, that's all I got. Until next time, be smart, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll talk soon.